world. My name is Max Stein, and I love video games.
I'm the Megabuck. I really love video games.
My name is Raph, and I also love video games.
And welcome to the Game Treasure Podcast, where we bring you treasured video games of yesterday, today, and tomorrow right to your ear holes. Warning, the Game Treasure Podcast is not for children or anyone with a brain, for that matter. Although today, listener, viewer, I disagree. I think that you got to have a pretty big brain to talk about some of the shit we're going to talk about today. All right? Listen to me. There's a game that's out right now called Mixtape. And there's a weird sets of conversations going on with this game. Yeah. And I loved this fucking game. And I said to these guys, I want to do an entire episode about this game. That's how much I have to say. But also, dear listener or viewer, you are in for a treat because I have asked Buck to bring a very special retro zone to the episode today for a very special reason. And that reason is the day of this release is its 26th birthday. So let's go ahead and start our episode off immediately, as we always should, by having the Megabuck and RetroGameTreasure.com take us back in time with this week's very special Retro Zone. Buck, send us, please.
Let's go back in time. Mac is absolutely right. Celebrating the 26th anniversary of its release on the Nintendo 64.
Ultra!
Nope, that's not what they called it.
Oh, no.
And clocking in at somewhere between 2.5 and 3 million copies sold. That number's a little, if you Google it, it's a little bit waverly there. I am talking about Rare's Perfect Dark.
Whoa, Buck has a I didn't
box.
realize you had a box copy as well.
Of course.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes. It's Perfect Dark's birthday, and I almost had this be an entire episode because guess what, viewer? I have actually, not until this week, had I ever even played Perfect Dark.
That's not uncommon.
It's funny that you bring that up because you can't talk about this without talking about GoldenEye,
Of course.
64, and without talking about the N64 expansion pack.
Yes. Now, Buck hasn't revealed to me exactly the expansion pack clues, but I do know what he's saying because if you are not familiar with Perfect Dark, it's a first-person shooter for the N64 that was made as a sort of spiritual successor because they lost the rights to 007 by Rare. So we all remember playing 4-player N64 007 with our friends and how transformative that was.
Right.
Then they make this new game with a new protagonist, a woman, Joanna Dark, and she's got spy stuff too. And so it's like, okay, well, the 007's so great, so Perfect Dark should be good, better,
Greater.
even. Yeah, this is it. And I don't know. I don't know, dear listener or viewer.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go. You go ahead, Raph.
Go, Raph, go.
So, have you played GoldenEye recently?
No, I have a feeling I know what you're going to say.
It plays like ass.
It does.
So
yes.
yeah, it does. It plays like ass. This game, I actually found that it played significantly better.
It's a sign of the times.
As I was playing it.
Significantly better is an air
Yeah, I
quotes.
want to hear what he has to say here.
Yeah. So back when this came out, it was actually kind of revolutionary, and mostly because I'm sure Buck will get into it. The expansion pack, the graphics and like the reflection quality and stuff was improved on this too. But I liked the idea of a new unique character. Like the music in this game too is also excellent. It's like they take the ideas that they worked on in GoldenEye and then they like expanded on them and made like an original soundtrack. I don't know. I think it's a good game.
They wanted to do more with the follow-up to GoldenEye. It was Tomorrow Never Dies was the next Bond movie coming out. Yeah. And they lost the license out to EA. The story goes by a lot. And Rare said, you know what? We don't really care because we had already kind of started working on it. And then we had these sci-fi ideas and we wanted, like Max said, the female protagonist. And none of those things work if it's a James Bond game.
Of course. Yeah.
And most of the Rare team members were a little bit, even though they're British, they were a little bit burnt out on the 007 license. So they're actually pretty pumped when that fell through.
Interesting.
The story goes that they now could make the game they really wanted to make, and they didn't have the deadlines of a movie studio breathing down their neck, and they could it would come out when it was ready, right? And so they could take more time to really make this game.
There's before you get into why it needs all the extra like things that are different in Perfect Dark compared to 007. All the guns have a secondary mode of fire. Almost all of them, I believe. The downside is most of those don't even hardly work. Like it's like oh, this machine gun. Basically, when you walk into a room, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it does feel kind of cool to feel like John Wick because Joanna just points right at the whoever's in the room, and you can just like. I'm like, I'm fucking. Is this easy mode?
I am so good at this.
Yeah, and then you can look down sights, but really, it's to hit specific parts of the screen and. You use the analog stick to control this, but what they didn't really understand is that I didn't want tension on the I don't want it to trying to be pulling me back to center.
Yes.
Which it always does. So it's very hard.
It's the same engine.
Exact. Yeah. If you play 007, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's like some of the secondary hit modes will do something specifically when you're in that downfield vision. Like the machine gun will, once you've scanned everybody with your reticle, it'll hold them into like lock on, but it's just like your gun kind of already does that. Right. The coolest one that I found was that the big main machine gun, its secondary fire is to just become a proximity mine.
Cool.
So she'll turn it on and then just like throw it on the ground in front of you. And I was like, oh, there's a proximity mine in 007. They combine it with the machine gun. Now it does double duty. That's pretty cool. You've got all these gadgets and gizmos, which are cool. You've got like this little spy cam thing that's like a drone essentially that you can send out.
It has like the fisheye lens.
It's got the fisheye lens, and this sound. If you weren't born in 1990 or before, this won't sound cool to you, but you can look at yourself. You can turn around and look at her. I can imagine, 1998 me or whatever being like, oh, you can't do that in James Bond. You can't send out a little drone and then turn around and look at James Bond.
There was a lot more in that, and your birthday does start with 19. Sorry.
Yeah. But Buck, why did the expansion? What is happening in order to get all this extra shit in there?
Well, they had much bigger dreams for this game, right? And I want to go and start with what you were kind of leading to also, which is the story. This story is a lot more grand. You got to go to a lot more locales and bigger areas in this, right? All
way bigger.
Has to do with, it gets really deep into like, it gets dark. No.
Perfect.
Into like this aliens and something about like there's a whole part where like you go on a plane and you save the president because this corporation's trying to replace the president with a clone.
You go to Area 51.
You go to Area 51. There's that little alien dude that becomes your buddy. So they got there were a lot of things in the zeitgeist at the time that became prevalent in this, X-Files, very, drooling with X-Files and that.
There's a lot of before or after the Matrix, because it has a cyberpunk vibe to it.
Before, at least it was like released. I mean, they would have had to have been developing it before.
Okay. It's got a cyberpunk vibe to it that really, I like
Blade
the
Runner.
setting.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner was very much so mentioned as one of theirs, and so was some anime, especially Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah,
I could see that as
her
well.
character design and the level design. So again, this is all wrapped around my point of the expansion pack stuff, which I'll get to. So they wanted it to be much, much more grand in all of the things that it could do as far as that. More weapons, everything else. Fully voice acted. The game is fully voice acted.
Good point.
Which is a crazy amount of space that it takes up on the N64 cartridge on top of all that. I just listened to that whole thing talking about how when they squeezed Resident Evil 2 onto that N64 cartridge, the insane amount of compression that they had to use in that too. But then on the flip side, also all of the multiplayer aspects, which they realized very quickly how much we all loved the multiplayer in 007, which was a last minute addition. If you guys remember when we've talked about GoldenEye in the past. Yep. So they knew how much we liked that. So adding that on there with 4 players, adding bots. This game has bots that you can put into the multiplayer when you play with your friends. And so you can do team ups, co-op, other things. The bots have personalities. There's literally like a bot personality that if you kill it, you respawn in this game, right? It's how many kills you get in the amount of time to how many kills you get. There's a bot that's like the vengeful bot. And if you kill it, it will hunt you down like and fucking just wants to kill you because you killed somebody. And so all of these, they were adding more and more and more features, right? And so very quickly, it started to become a problem that the N64 only had 4 megabytes of RAM.
Feature creep.
Yes. And what does that really affect? It affects the amount of things that can be loaded at once. It affects the textures. It affects the frame rate, all of those kinds of things, right? And so when they were developing this guy, the N64 expansion pack, which, Rare worked very closely with Nintendo when they were making these games, this would allow them to do more with it. This game could run in 480i high definition.
Holy shit, the peak of technology.
It really increased the frame rates. And while it wasn't required like it was on Donkey Kong 64 and Majora's Mask were like the 2 games that you had to have this to play it. This is really weird. So you'll see on this box, it says expansion pack required for, how do I read that backwards? For maximum gameplay. Well, what does that mean exactly? This is weird. So when they released Perfect Dark in Japan, they required the expansion pack. They were like, look, don't fuck around. Just don't even what. And the reason why is because if you play Perfect Dark for the N64 and you don't have the expansion pack installed, it will prompt you and say, hey, you should get an expansion pack. Because as soon as the menu comes up, the only thing you can select is 2-player multiplayer.
Wow. Now that's not maximum gameplay. How
you
do I get the solo mission?
You don't get access to the 4-player gameplay. You don't get access to the story mode. You get access to like 15% of the game if you don't have an expansion.
So why? Well, I mean, maybe it's not something we can even answer, but like, why though? Like, why the 2-player? Like,
because that's what it can handle as far as amount going on screen without the frame rate chugging. Again, you get the frame rates, you get the higher textures, the things like you were talking about, like the water, the fact that the faces look so much better in this game compared to GoldenEye. That is all attributed to the fact that you're doubling the amount of RAM from 4 megabytes to 8 megabytes in the Nintendo 64.
What a unique like set of parameters that you have to get this to work right, and
So
if
weird.
it's not all right, then you get a really odd sort of outcome.
They kept wanting to cram features into this thing. Like there was a feature that one of the lead developers developed and they decided to pull out, and that was the ability to use the Game Boy camera to take a picture of your face and put its texture onto the multiplayer characters' faces.
Wow. Nightmare fuel, I'm sure.
for real.
And lots of wieners.
Horrible visages to be placed on top of the models.
You guys ever have a Game Boy camera?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, those pictures were not great.
No, they were
and they were also in black and white. Yeah, they were also
We'll talk about that when we talk about Mixtape, right?
Yeah. There's the hub world in this game, which I imagine, they needed the extra space for. I thought that was cool. As far as from 007, it doesn't launch you just into a menu screen. It does a cool little wraparound of Joanna, and then you get to walk around kind of like Tomb Raider, which I can't remember it went in comparison, but obviously Tomb Raider needed that disc to make Lara Croft's mansion possible. And this one, the guy, if you haven't played it, it's just like, oh, hello, Jana, follow me. And then he just leaves your ass. And then he'll walk into the next room and be like, this is the mission briefing room. And then he just, if you don't follow, he just does his little script. It's so funny.
He's straight up shut the door on me.
Hey, hello, Nancy. Hey, hello. This way. And then he takes you to the whole man. None of the doors have any markings as to what room they are. That's my biggest problem with trying to play through this game this week has been, Buck is correct, the levels are so much bigger and I couldn't find my way around them to save my fucking life.
Mac,
I had a little bit of that, but I would agree.
I had a little bit, but thankfully it'd be like, you're on a bridge. See how many guard towers there are?
Sure.
Check all the guard towers. Where in this, it'll be like, you're in a mansion and this hallway has 4 doors on each side, and then each door leads to another hallway that also has 4 doors on it. And I'm just like, have I already been here? I have to and the enemies will go away after a while of killing them, so I can't even use the shit, did I kill people in here yet? I can't remember.
And it's a consequence of the N64 and its graphics limitations. Every room looks the same. It's just every room actually does look the same. It's not. I don't blame you at all for getting lost in this game. Honestly,
I love that you can clip almost all the furniture. You can run into an office room and just fuck all the furniture, just you push everything to one side as you just into indiscriminately machine gun blast people. There's something they said at the beginning about like if you don't kill guards, their key cards will help you unlock doors. I think that's what I was missing because I was not able to stealth kill anybody. Everyone heard me coming no matter how crouched I was.
I think that there were certain characters in the story that you could knock out by just punching them, and then you can use their key cards to open up certain doors.
Instead of having
what
to
I
brute
was
force
able
your way through the cheese maze that is
Yes,
the
the
maps in
cheese
Perfect Dark.
Fun.
The one where you're like, it's this mission where it starts and the very first thing you have to do is you've just seen this cutscene where this lady's being held at gunpoint at the end of a dock, and then just like, oh, guess what though? You're already in place like with a sniper rifle. So like the very first mission that you have is timed because it's like kill them before they kill her.
Yeah.
And I was just like, cool. Did that. It took me a couple tries because sniping with the sniper rifle was very fucking hard. Did that. And then it was like, all right, now go down there and save her. Couldn't get there. Could not figure out the series of stairs and doors that I needed to do. You got to go into this building, and then it asks you to go down into the basement, and then you got to turn on the power generator, which I did, and then it says, now the upstairs is turned on, and I tried every fucking door. I could not find it. I thought to myself, I bet this might be one of those experiences that Nintendo Power would have helped a lot. It would have made it much like my playthrough with Zelda, where it'd be like, I don't know if there's any shame in this. I think it'd be fine to just have someone read me to be like, where the fuck do I go now?
But noted, don't take Mac to a hedge maze.
No, oh my God, I will just have to default to. I'll be like, I have nothing. So you lead me.
You get lost and starve in the center. Yep.
So in the story mode, you guys ever heard? I swear this makes sense. You guys ever heard of a little game called Left 4 Dead? And it's amazing, asynchronous multiplayer story mode. Mm-hmm. Did you know that Perfect Dark has that as well?
No, what do you mean?
There's a 2-player story mode where the second player can jump from body to body of the guards and just try and stop you.
Oh, that's super fucking cool. What?
And but when I said they kept adding features, and literally they will keep jumping from body to body trying to kill you. And so let's say you see that they jump to that, and you know your friends jump to that one's body, and you just run away from them, and he can't catch you. Every guard has like a suicide pill. They can kill themselves, and then they can go jump into a new guard's body.
Very good, very good.
That's a cool mode, huh?
That is very funny. I had no idea.
Yeah,
I guess,
a lot of people miss that.
The first player experience, I tried to watch some videos and people are like, if you want to play this game, there's a patch you can download so you can play it on PC so that it's a little bit easier to control. But then I was like, surely that's not why people played this game, right? I mean, it's not because it controlled so well. It's because it was big and it looked good. There's a bunch of game modes in it. It's got a kind of crazy story.
The way I see it is that the game is a benchmark, but ultimately it is definitely a fucking relic. Like, it is a relic of its time for sure.
Yes.
And it was innovative at the time, but now it's obviously clunky and kind of messy to play. But yeah, we can all appreciate it for what it was, I guess, right?
Unfortunately, I don't have any nostalgia for it, and so I don't think I'll ever gain any.
Right. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's a very fair assessment.
That was part of my problem. We played so much GoldenEye when it came out, especially the multiplayer that we absolutely. I mean, you could make up your own modes, right? Like, golden gun, slaps only, remote mines only, no odd job, all odd job. Like we would do that on our own. Okay, I've got a rocket launcher and it's you three versus me. Like. Whatever kind of fun. Yeah. So they were trying to. They definitely added some more cool stuff into this to make it more fun. But because of that, like I talked to a couple of my friends that played it in the same like age range, and none of us rushed out to get this game because we were still really happy with when we wanted to play multiplayer. We wanted to play GoldenEye.
Baron Samedi is in GoldenEye. Like, what the fuck,
he's
dude?
Like, he's the wrong time, I think.
James
really
Bond.
honestly.
Yeah, well, sorry. Yeah, I just mean like you can play as a Louisiana zombie man, like in the multiplayer mode. It's cool as fuck. I don't know.
It's my name.
But I don't know. That's all I have to say about Perfect Dark. If you're a Perfect Dark stan out there, leave a comment. Tell me why Perfect Dark is so incredible.
Would you like a super fun fact about Perfect Dark?
I love
I know
facts.
all of those things I gave you, and none of them were actually my super fun fact.
Wow.
There was a feature that was added to Perfect Dark with another Perfect Dark game. Do you guys know what this is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, the Game Boy loader. Yes,
that's right. It's the N64 transfer pack that lets you plug into your N64 controller to transfer over Pokemon for Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, that's what I use it.
But if you take your N64 transfer pack and your copy of Perfect Dark for the Game Boy Color,
cool. Oh yeah,
and put it in to your copy of Perfect Dark for the N64, you quickly unlock some of the hardest modes to unlock in the regular game, such as the all guns mode, the cloaking device, hurricane fists, and the R tracker.
What?
Man,
With your Game Boy
Nintendo, do
Color.
this shit again. Do shit like
Yeah,
this again,
dude.
please. Like,
Yeah, I
just give
want
me
that.
weird
You know, if
crossover.
you digitally
like,
load Animal
peripherals.
Crossing and then you take a copy of Shovel Knight and put it in your Switch, you get a secret amiibo in the mail.
That's why physical games
You
are
get-
amazing.
Come on, do this for me, Nintendo, please.
For real, dude. Oh my god! If you get the new Switch 2 camera and then put it in the toilet, you can.
No, all we get is furries.
You go to jail.
twice.
All right. Well, do you guys have anything else you want to say anymore?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
Perfect Dark. Pretty cool, but all in all, I couldn't devote an entire episode to you. I just couldn't play you. I could barely play you. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about Annapurna's newest shit. See you on the other side, dear listener.
From the team who brought you GoldenEye for N64, meet Special Agent Joanna Dark in Perfect Dark, where you'll find out that the only person man enough to handle a job like this is a woman.
All right. We are back, and it is time to talk about Mixtape.
Ooh.
Published by Annapurna Interactive. You may know them from a bunch of really artsy games.
Yeah.
Developed by Beethoven and Dinosaur is the name of the developer. I should have looked to see if this was their first game or not. Frankly, I don't care. Here's something much better that I do care about. This game is directed by Johnny Galvatron.
Who's that?
Say, what? Say that again one more time, Mac.
Yeah,
This game
yeah.
is directed by a guy who calls himself Johnny Galvatron.
What's his name again?
He's the lead singer of the Galvatrons, a four-piece band from Australia
The
that
mystery
banned in
thickens.
2007. And openly stated at 101.3 FM Central Coast, Australia, that their band got their name from the 1986 film Transformers.
What
My
did you
last
say
note
his name
here
was?
is I love this man. I love Johnny Galvatron because he calls himself that, and he made this fucking game. I just thought you would get tickled by that, Buck, especially since they are not one, but two Stan Bush songs in this game, both of which are featured on that very same Transformers film. So like I already said, I want to talk about this game because there's weird discourse over it getting a 10 out of 10 from IGN recently.
Right.
And by from IGN, I mean from a guy that works at IGN who has his very own subjective opinions that he's allowed to have.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So the 10,000 foot view of the storyline of this game is that you play as a young girl, and it's her senior year of high school. And in fact, her high school career is about to be over. And she wants to become a music supervisor, which is a person who helps movies create their soundtrack, essentially. They work with the directors and with the producers to say, we need a song that feels like this and that right here whenever Al Pacino's doing this and that. And they'll say, gotcha. And then they go into the records of the most likely subsidiary holding company for those things. You know what I mean? Warner Brother also owns all that music or whatever. And they find the songs that match those moments perfectly. If you've ever seen these movies, High Fidelity, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Fast Times at Ridgemount High, 16 Candles, it's like that. It's a coming of age high school story that takes place in the early 90s.
You didn't say Empire Records anywhere in there, Mac. I'm very disappointed.
Sorry,
Dazed and
I
Confused
need to
really
watch
is
more
what I thought
movies.
of, yeah.
I guess, but like not to spoil it too much, but this plan that she has to go get this job, she wants to move to New York, is messing with a plan that her and her friends concocted a while ago about what they were going to do when they graduated from high school.
Yeah.
And so there's just some turmoil that's going on. And the crux of the game is that there's this super sick party that's supposed to happen. But like, like it might not happen because this happened. And now it might not happen because this is happening. And now it might not happen because this. And spoilers, it does fucking happen. You have the rocking party and the game ends. That is the most succinct way I can tell you the storyline. But the best thing is that's not That's not the story. The story is you will get affected by the story when you play through it. All right. So I'm just going to go on a rant because I can't be stopped. So people keep trying to argue that this game is not a game.
I disagree.
Because it lacks gameplay.
That's people that didn't play past the first 2 chapters.
Or people that just breeze through it without doing any proper actual, playing
Like
it.
didn't have fun with it and sit and say those people would think like, I don't want to play a mini game where you pose for photos with your friends.
I spent 30 to 40 minutes throwing rocks at a pond, dude.
This is okay.
I had a
things that capital I did in Mixtape.
Mm-hmm.
Bombed a sick California hill with my friends. At one point during said bombing, I kickflipped over a car. That sounds like Tony Hawk. Controlled 2 dueling tongues during an awkward first kiss scene.
That was
sounds
weird.
like a WarioWare minigame to me. Flew through a field with careless abandon, kind of like Journey. Narrowly escaped the cops during a downhill shopping cart bobsled ride that's heavily inspired by E.T. Reminded me of the river rafting paddle game as you're spinning around in the fucking shopping cart. Absolutely decimated my principal's house with toilet paper.
Fuck yeah.
Again, a mini game from WarioWare.
Yep.
Designed a logo for my secret beer drinking fort that physically ended up appearing in the game, which made me cry because I
Multiple
didn't know
times.
they were going to do that. And then when it showed up, I was like, that's amazing. Destroyed the mall and everything inside of the mall with my middle fingers. Yes! Explored an abandoned theme park looking for all the secret photo op places. And yes, gentlemen, there were secret photo ops, the ones that were not prompted, that you would have to search for in order to find all the secrets. With
your Game Boy
retained, rented movies, absolutely hammered.
Oh my God, dude.
Amazing.
That
scene
was
was
magical.
Discovered all the secret party moments at my final high school hurrah. And guess what? There's more. That's not all of the things that I did in this game. I controlled those things.
Yeah.
I do not understand how people can say WarioWare is a video game, but this is not. I don't understand
It was very WarioWare, wasn't
how
it?
people can say that game to a T that came out, that was made by the Katamari Damacy guy last year, where you're just a child in a T pose. And it's just like, put your clothes on, and it's a little mini game where you shuffle the data. Now brush your teeth. It's a little mini game where you use the joysticks. Now eat cereal. How is that a game, but this is not a game? And how is the casting of Frank Stone a game, and this is not a game?
It's just a
we
weird
fell
argument.
asleep playing that fucking game, man. I'm just saying, like, there is literally an accepted genre of video games called walking sims, and nobody fucking says anything.
Visual novels.
But when this
Visual
game,
novels.
yes, sure, whatever. No, they call them walking sims. Am I correct, Raph?
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
This
I'm
is a
saying
term.
visual novels are
Right.
also
But I think he's saying that visual novels are also a thing.
Right, are
that's
also a
considered
genre of game.
Of
Yeah.
video, and nobody fucking bitches and
That's a nine.
complains when one of those games gets a 9 or a 10 from IGN.
It's an odd argument because like Metal Gear Solid Guns of the Patriots had fucking 45-minute long cutscenes.
interactive cutscenes.
Yeah, it's mostly cutscene.
Just because an experience is guided does not mean it's not a video game. That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life.
Also, to be honest with you, in my opinion, the argument as to whether or not this is a video game is irrelevant because it's a piece of art that made me cry 3 times and I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care if it's a video game or not.
I think it's just
Like,
clickbait at that point. I think the real argument to them would be there's not a lot of gameplay, to which I'd still say you're just still creating clickbait at that point.
Sure,
Because it was a
yeah,
good
whatever.
experience.
Because did you hear all the things that I just said?
Yeah, all those exist in the same
I didn't even
game.
cover the skipping the stones like Raph. Like, bro, how many did you hit all the things in the lake and get the achievement?
I didn't get all of them, but I hit a good chunk of them. Yeah.
And just like every you'd hit one, and then another thing would pop out in the
Did you
past. And like,
slingshot all the beer bottles in less than 45 seconds and get the achievement?
no,
I did. Yeah.
Did you? I did the downhill shopping cart luge in one go.
Same.
Damn.
No hits, and that shit was like This game is so incredible at making scripted scenes that seamlessly become gameplay scenes.
Yeah.
The scene where you're in the shopping cart and it pulls out to a helicopter cam,
And you're like,
and I realized
am I
I was
still
still
controlling this?
Yes,
Yeah,
and I was
And
like,
then you're like, oh, I am, yes, dude.
That scene if you get to that part in the game and you're the person going, this isn't a game, that scene is the moment where you go, no, this is a game, and this is a pretty cool game.
That joy, dude. Oh,
when the cops just barely don't hit you, and you don't know if you did that or if the game did that, but you don't care because all you saw is that, oh man, I just barely didn't hit that cop car. That was so awesome. Why? Why does anybody, like, I understand if you don't like this game, but you cannot, like, if you are mad at this game, the idea,
for whatever reason,
it makes me so,
it's like, you know what, Matt? It's like you said, gamer with a capital G. No, for sure. Yeah, like it's a certain type of shitty opinion online.
He's broken. He broke it.
Oh no, that's it. He malfunctioned. Holy shit. Oh, wait a minute.
Is he being possessed?
Yes, he is. He's being possessed by the Frenchman.
Hello. My name is Max Stan, and video games are art.
He's right.
And I am here to defend the honor of this absolutely incredible one-of-a-kind video game. Because what you don't know is that art snob Max Stein does think that this game deserves a 10 out of 10, and I will tell you why breathlessly. Sit down, Cro-Magnons. Silence. I have given the speech of art. Literally everything in this game is working harder to be creative than any of the people who are hating it have ever tried to be in their lives at an abstract thing. Okay? And I don't mean like one time I painted a birdhouse and it came out really good. Or like one time I put together a birdhouse and it came out really good. Like one time I built a deck for my wife and it came out good. That's not abstraction. I'm talking like try to write a script for anything. And you will very quickly come to the conclusion that it is so much harder than you are thinking. Okay? All those movies that you love, they're put together, like even the Marvel ones.
By a team.
Even the Marvel ones are put together by people who would understand why this game is good.
Yeah.
You simply must understand. I'm looking and talking right to you. The plot of this game is in conversation with itself. The main character is obsessed with the idea of finding songs that match the tone of any given moment in her life or her experiences.
Yeah.
And as she narrates you the songs chosen for her experience, you are also getting the experience. And the 28 songs are not just the top songs from the 80s and 90s. Like these are very meticulously picked and very carefully placed within the fucking game. When your friend who is an ace softball player is describing to you that she doesn't want to play softball anymore because she feels the constraints that her father are putting on her are stifling her from figuring out who she is. But the game shows you that she is very good at softball by having you hit homers out of the fucking park, just like you'd find in Persona. Any and all of the Persona games have batting mini games in them. And every time you hit a fucking ball out of the park gets bigger and the lights get bigger. And then there's crowds cheering all while You Got the Touch is playing.
Yeah.
If that didn't make you just go, this fucking rocks. Like, I don't understand what would. And then that whole thing crescendos with your character, the last homer that they want you to hit takes out a light in the park and your troublemaker friend goes, uh-oh, we better go. But then the other character has her like halfway through the hero's journey moment where she's just like, nah, I want him to remember it was me. And you're like, the game is both showing me and telling me what's happened, and the music is boosting what is happening, and the character is talking to me about how music can make things like art more powerful. Like, I just don't understand. Like, the fact that they went with the friend love angle instead of the romantic love angle.
Appreciated that.
So happy about that.
So
smart.
Happy about
that, dude.
Yeah.
Two girls and a guy could very easily become a love story about a triangle of love bullshit. I would instantly not care. I would instantly not care.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But that's not what it's about. Instead, it's about like,
friendship.
Hey, viewer, hey, listener, you ever go to high school? Did you finish? when you finished, did you and your friends have to go separate ways? Did you miss them? What the fuck, dude? What do you not like? What do you not understand about this video game? Like, I don't understand how. Go ahead, bud.
I have an idea. I think I had an epiphany while you were talking about this. I played it and beat it too, and I had a similar experience. I enjoyed it a lot. All the movies that you named before, all those great late 80s, early 90s movies, you know, rom-coms, coming of ages, all those kinds of things. Like I said, I mentioned Empire Records because that was this movie for me, right? Mm-hmm. I watched the In Search of Darkness 90s edition about a month or so back. And multiple times they had on, I forget the gentleman's name, but he did a lot of the movie soundtracks in the 90s, especially. In the 90s, they discovered that movie soundtracks could be cash cows by licensing tracks from bands. And that's where you get situations where some bands, Panic at the Disco has a song on that movie Jennifer's Body that's not on any of their albums. You know, bands would make songs for soundtracks, and it was big money. That does not exist anymore. So if you lived through that in the 80s and 90s, this is an immediate nostalgia factor for you because that's the way that really good pieces of media were formed back then. And that died off in the early mid, double O's in the, 2003, 2005-ish. That is not a thing anymore. And
Buck just brought the Dawn of the Dead soundtrack and mentioned, did you know there's an entire extra soundtrack for this done by Goblin? And just like the thought, like just that is cool stuff. The whole game is about that.
But if you're in your mid 20s now, you were born after that stopped being a trend.
Right.
That's how old. Sorry, guys, we're all old now. But that's how old. So I think it's almost kind of like a lost art. You know, music supervisors don't look for licensed tracks and go to bands anymore. They hire symphonies and they get John Williams or someone. It's all mostly scores.
They'll just pick whatever the hottest track they're trying to boost through the radio exposure anyhow and be like, let's put Doja Cat in the Elvis movie.
To say
a real thing. Yeah.
Doja Cat in the Elvis movie.
And they'll put that in like the trailer and they like won't even put it in the movie. And then the movie soundtrack is just a score. So I think there's a little bit of a disconnect between, so that means if you're like 30 years old, by the time you were listening to real music, this was also not a trend anymore. So there's a large age demographic that one doesn't appreciate this and two doesn't understand how powerful it can be when done right.
I tried to explain this game to a younger coworker of mine and she didn't understand it. Because I feel like there aren't that many coming of age movies like this anymore. Like I just don't see them around, you know?
No. You have to go back and watch those.
That's a pretty salient point. Yeah.
I have a really weird perspective on this game for two very important reasons. One, I literally have a daughter who is graduating high school.
That was going to be my final point.
And two, I was not very cool in high school. So all of the things that they're doing are things I would hear about from other people and acquaintances and friends. But I didn't go to I went to one fucking high school party, all of high school. I just got good grades and didn't do dumb shit. And so
there's that one character though. They're like, Steve Johnson's pretty cool. And the girl goes, is he? I was like, well, he gets really good grades and does what his parents says, but he also doesn't give a fuck. He's really cool. And then you see him at the party and he's all dressed up really nicely. And then you're like, hey, what's up? And he just goes, and gives you the middle finger.
It's so good,
dude.
But yes,
I knew people like that. Yeah,
my daughter is at that age right now where she's spent the last 6 months of the year of her life doing a lot of that stuff. Not nearly as much of a delinquent as these guys, but being very involved. Kids don't
get together anymore. They don't get together and do shit like this. Really don't. They go online or do but it's just nobody goes to each other's houses or goes to an abandoned place in the woods to go fucking just hang out anymore.
To some mild delinquency. So this game was very nostalgic for me. The character of Silas, man. He's my favorite character. All right, not Silas. What am I saying? Slater. I'm sorry, Slater. Slater was my favorite character.
When he's talking about his album.
Yeah.
When he's talking about I want to make an 8-minute long synth epic.
Yeah.
And he says this quote where he's like, the reason I like making stuff is because before it feels like you don't really have anything, you're not about anything. Mm-hmm. But if you want to make a 10-minute long epic synth soundtrack, you got homework to do. You got places to purpose. Go. And all of a sudden you got shit that you're about.
Yeah. Something to do.
And I was just like, that is
Dude, as someone who
I'm
played music in high school and through the beginning of college, like with friends, like this is a very nostalgic sort of. It hit me hard. Like
when your character. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No. Go ahead.
When your character has an argument with her best friend, and then she asks her to hang out, and then she says, I can't, I don't feel good. But then later she sees her friend hanging out with the girl that hates her, that she also hates, and she's so hurt by it. And then the thing that you do is your character begins to float in the air because one
of my favorite scenes in the game.
She feels light. She feels like empty. And then she begins to get sad, and then the world loses its color. And then she doesn't turn around. Instead, she floats backwards. In other words, like backwards is the direction of retreat. Backwards is not progress. Backwards is the opposite of that. And so she's so distraught by this that she floats backwards through the entire town. And the whole time you're doing it, as you're bumping into shit, it's going flying through the air as if nothing has any weight at all.
I love that sequence because I started out trying to avoid every piece, just swaying along with the music. And then at one point it hits you with a section where you just can't.
You cannot.
And you end up just destroying everything on the way out. And everything.
And the things that you hit are like a big stack of papers, so they all go flying everywhere. Or there's
an entire restaurant.
There's a part where it's a bunch of pigeons and you hit the pigeons in the air and they're like frozen in time and spin around like this or whatever.
Joy Division was playing in the background for that scene. I'm pretty sure. And that's such a great song to play during that scene too.
The things everyone either had a friend like this,
right,
or was this person in high school, and the person that just really knows stuff about music that you're like, I don't even know what the fuck you are talking about. That is awesome. And one of the characters literally says it, which is the magnetism is like anyone who has a passion for anything is cool.
Yeah.
Like a real passion, not a fucking poser, but someone who truly loves something undeniably and makes it part of their personality because they are being genuine, not because they want to be cool. That is cool. Being into Warhammer, really into it, is cool. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a fuck. In my opinion, it is. In my opinion, it is.
Maybe now it was a bit, but the music part of it hits me like that because I was that guy. I listened to so much music, not country music, but so many different types of music. I mean, Mac, I told him I'm going to a concert tonight, Mac. I'm going to see Lords of Acid.
Cool. Fuck yes,
I've wanted to see them since I was 15 years old.
Bro.
And it's like, I would listen to whatever. And that's the part that hits me a lot in this game because it explores how music can make the game the same way that music used to make those soundtracks back in the day. So
music can make, we've done whole episodes about how music can make games. And the game is a game about how music makes movies, but the game is an animated game that's filmed on the twos, like Into the Spider-Verse. And so it feels so alive and kinetic. And it's just like.
So what's your favorite scene, Mac?
First of all, I won't spoil it, but the end of the game, the very last thing that the game has you do is
it's pretty good.
So beautiful. And it has everything to do with that male character that Raph is talking about, where it's just like,
Slater's my boy.
He is such a sweet young man. And he's doing.
How do you like his stash?
I would, and then it does the slam close up of his face, and it's all like SpongeBob
like
style, ugly as fuck. Yes,
with a big zit, and it's terrible.
That scene where don't let go is just like fuck me up, fam. But then also the scene with the fireworks at the end. Did anybody else attempt to do the fireworks in rhythm with the song?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, does the game make you do that? No. But do you do that? Yes. Why? Because the game has taught you something about music, and it has tapped into something in you to be like, you want to do it in rhythm, don't you? Yes. That's because life moves in like rhythm.
Man,
it's just like,
my favorite.
What? This is amazing, dude. This is.
I don't think it's a spoiler, but it is this, like when Slater shows like the song that he made, and the two of them together, and then the ending, like that whole story arc for me, like Cassandra in a lot of ways is the main character. Like her,
I think so.
her arc is really like the main driving point of the story.
It's the one that changes the most.
But I think that Stacy and Slater's story is the one that like really just like I felt it, and that ending like legit
because
that
it feels like
ending
a B
right there.
plot. And then
Yeah.
it actually is like, actually, it's the A plot.
They feel like
because this is the really important thing about
they're like
this.
a single character in and of themselves, and it's like seeing that development of it, and then that the don't let go moment
friends.
is like holy shit. Yeah.
What about you, Buck?
Hands down, the scene where you walk through the video store drunk.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Slater is
get
drunk.
2 weeklies and a new release.
You're
And you're just like,
controlling him, and he's walking, and you can't control that he's walking back and forth. And I'm missing the microphone on purpose for effect because he goes back and he has a hand out most of the time. So when you walk down the aisle, you can't help but
Knocking
knock like 30
everything
movies
over.
off the rack, and everything he's hearing is distorted because he's so drunk. So you can just hear the clerk. I'm not clearing that up, bro.
and he has like a million things to say, like 100 different lines.
I walked around the video store for 10 minutes.
I looked at so many videos, like I don't want to rent this.
Yeah.
Put this shit in and smash
I went straight
everything.
to the horror
Something
section.
up and drop. He's like, oh no, yeah, I didn't want that one anyway.
That was an amazing
Another
scene.
like honorable mention. I'm not gonna say where this is just because I don't want to spoil it. But there is a character that literally shows up in a UFO at some point.
Yeah, she's here.
When that happened, I was like, wait, is this real?
There was a lot of that was like surreal. Like it's not a game/movie about
no,
stoner
yeah.
kids, but neither were most of the 90s movies we watched. There was one
Sure.
stoner kid in every one of them.
Many
But
psychedelic moments in this game.
Yeah,
It's
but
so
when
cool.
you're all so at the end, you're all so free that your cars literally take off into the sky
That's
like
good.
grease.
That's good.
You know what I
Like
mean?
grease,
And you're just
yes. Yes.
I'm just this
same kind of symbolism.
kaiju
Yes.
mode.
kaiju
Kaiju mode.
Magical.
I spent like
And the
10
music-
minutes walking around.
I was
The
just like,
music goes from headphone fidelity, like 80s headphone
yeah.
fidelity, to like full fidelity.
how
Oh yeah.
do
Chef's kiss.
people not understand how this is
Oh.
a video game? It's
They
just like
didn't
Buck
get that far.
says. It's absurd. It's clickbait because this is my closing thought because we're about here on time.
Okay.
Listen, this is the behind the scenes stuff. Buck already led to it. My niece is about to graduate from high school. And
Shut
they
the fuck
recently held a touching recital
It's good.
where she sang a song with her best friend
That was pretty good.
about being friends.
Beautiful.
And from what I understand, I didn't go because I'm a shitty uncle, but from what I understand is that everyone in my family was weeping sweet tears of joy at the passage of time.
There was some jerk cutting onions in there. That is
And if
definitely.
you cannot identify with that or find meaning in that or understand how someone could, I do not know what to say to you.
I feel
I
sorry
guess
for
go kill a
Rap's
billion
right.
demons over the course of 10 hours in Doom and then tell me how it reminded you of your life.
I feel sorry for you at that point.
Yep.
You know?
There are games of all spans, and this game is only a couple hours long. So I encourage you that if you fell for the clickbait and you think it's not good, to expand your gaming horizons and try something like this.
Look, I'll say, so this game was on Game Pass, and I tried playing it on Game Pass. I could not get my controller to work with Game Pass for this, so I ended up just straight up buying it on the PlayStation for $17.99. I think it's $19.99, and I do not regret that I played a 2.5, 3 hour game, and I paid $18 for it. Because it's like a movie. It was like a movie ticket. Like
You had to
that's
pay
how
that
much
much
an
to go to a
IMAX
movie,
ticket is, right? You know? And I do not regret that at all. I encourage every single one of you to go check it out.
Yep.
It's good.
It's amazing. It's going to be in my running for Game of the Year at the end of the year, so fuck
nice.
everybody. All right.
All right. Interesting.
That is perfect timing, gentlemen. I really don't mean to be so abrasive. Buck said it perfectly. Like, just go play it. Don't listen to anyone. It won't take you any time at all. And just, if you can come back to me and tell me why you don't like it, I'll be like, that makes sense. I didn't like the Batman Arkham Asylum games, but I'm not going to say they're not good. Obviously, they're video games that are good. I don't like them. You can not like this game, but don't say it's not a video game. That's fucking stupid. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get to the other side, we're going to do our What Else You Got and head on out of here. See you on the other side, dude.
See you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. Oh my
Fuck!
god.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Most of the time, I'm wondering if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you know? To have the optimal teenage experience.
The teenage experience is unobtainable.
All right, we're back, and I'm only crying a little bit. Let me take off this hat, and it is time for our What Else You Got, the segment of our show where we can bring anything to the table, be it video game or otherwise. Buck, you said you had 2 things this week.
I have some really great ones, yeah.
Why don't you go first so you can get all your stuff in?
The first one is something you need to come over and play, Mac. We picked up, the boy loves this show, the Invincible Versus fighting game.
How is it?
I'll do the sit-down versus.
This game was made for people who like tag games, but look at like Dragon Ball Fighter Z and their brain melts.
Okay, go on.
It's a 3v3 tag game that has light, medium, heavy, and a special button. There are no Dragon Punch inputs. Okay. There are no Hadouken inputs. There are no charge moves at all. There is a special button in this game. And so the way it works is your special button just does the special moves, like a forward special, a back special, like a super, and like a couple others.
Kind of. Yeah.
It's more about the combo system, and because of that, things like a combo breaker and a tag extension like you do in any tag game are way easier to do, but still difficult to master like any other game. Oh. So it's way easier to pick up than any other tag fighter out there.
Did you say it's 3v3?
It's a 3v3 tag game where you have a tag assist system swap its tag assist system out 90% for any Marvel vs. Capcom game, right? You got L1 and L2 to swap out either if you're in the middle of a combo and you tap the button, they jump in for a second. If you push and hold it in the middle of a combo, they take over for you, and that's how you extend the combos, right?
Okay.
But you can, if you have a character available, you can hit 2 buttons and you can break one of those long ass gross combos that your opponent's about to do on you at the expense of half the health of the assist character, which it then slowly replenishes because it's an assist character and it's tagged out, and a secondary meter that lets you do a couple of non-special maneuvers. And so it has a separate meter to manage that instead. And it makes all of the parts of a tag game way less. Like the barrier to entry is way lower in this game.
Yeah.
To someone that's playing a tag game. It gives you on screen whenever you select any character, if you're not familiar with the Invincible universe, it just tells you straight up, this is a ranged setup character. This is an in-your-face brawler character. I mean, it literally tells you below their name.
That would have been my problem. Is like, I don't think I know all the characters.
You don't know
what
the
they do,
characters at all.
but I guess that doesn't really matter.
And I absolutely love Rexplode because he's a ranged setup character. Rexplode is basically Gambit in
he's
the
voiced
Invincible
by
universe.
What's the guy from that last season of Taskmaster who I absolutely love.
I forget.
With the big beard and the giant hair. He's so funny.
Yes, and the story's a lot really cool to it, and it centers around these characters voiced by Doug Bradley, aka Pinhead. So there's some really good in the story.
It's like villains that aren't from the show.
Yes, they are. They're villains to one of the main, to Angstrom Levy, one of the main guys, but they're like kind of, the story's not super long, but again, this game is just super fun, really low barrier to entry. So I cannot recommend it enough. You've got to come play it.
Good.
Very cool.
About time. Make fighting games easy again.
It does have a high skill ceiling. I would get my ass whooped by someone who's good, but cool. You can pick it up and play in a couple rounds because combos are simple and tagging is simple and all that good stuff.
I like it.
My second one is a book, or rather I should say an audiobook. I've been listening to The Psychology of Final Fantasy.
Fun.
Go on.
Edited by Anthony M. Bean. And I say edited by because every chapter of this book is like a miniature thesis written by a different like doctorate of their field and whatever it might be. So there are entire chapters on trauma and character development and how that relates to the series. There are entire chapters on the psychology of the party system and how and why you will pick who relates to you and why we all put certain characters with other certain characters because of the way they're presented to us. Whoa. There's even an entire chapter on Kisho Tenketsu, which is the Japanese version of storytelling, which ironically enough is also found in Mixtape. That is the Eastern Asia form of storytelling where rather than focusing on a constant centered conflict, it emphasizes individual character growth and thematic contrast.
Cool.
Whoa.
A la Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy VII, all these. And so they use Final Fantasy to bring up all of these different psychological, they bring up Gestalt and they bring up all of these different studies and things that have been, kind of proven about the human mind. Like I said, the party system, you basically associate Barrett and Cloud as attached at the hip because they're presented to you in that way at the beginning of the story. There's an entire chapter about archetypes, mythology, and religion, and it talks about Final Fantasy X a lot because of the Abed and Unalesca and how that all thing works and what sin. It gets really deep, and you can't just kind of listen like you normally would with an audiobook. You end up having to like focus on the things that they're saying.
Right.
But I mean, again, when there's an entire chapter about limit breaks and Final Fantasy as related to personal growth.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Wow.
And why people revisit specific Final Fantasy games during major life events and life transitions because of the way it's affected them psychologically.
Makes sense.
Holy shit, Mac, there's an entire chapter about music. And just the music of Final Fantasy and how repetition in music was of necessity back then, like we've talked about, in 20-something second loops. But when they talk about the math of how come when you played this game for X amount of hours, which means you heard this loop 41,323 times, you still love the battle music in Final Fantasy
One. Yeah, exactly. Wow, it's called The Psychology of Final Fantasy?
The Psychology of Final Fantasy. It's actually on Spotify. So you can listen to it on Spotify.
Say less. I'm there. I'm fucking there. Wow.
Every one of the chapters is like 10 to 20 pages. So give or take 12 to 20 minutes per chapter.
What's the name of the writer? Do you know?
So every chapter is written by different people with PhDs.
I see. Okay. All right. Cool.
So you're going to see edited by Anthony. I think Anthony M. Bean is his name, but he did. I don't know if he wrote any of the chapters.
Wow. All right. That rocks. Amazing. Raph, would you like to go next with your what else you got?
Absolutely. I've got a couple of different things. One, I've got a game for you guys. It's called Idols of Ash, and it came out about last month, April 9th of last month, right? Developed and published by Leafy Games. And this is a horror climbing simulator. So it's a brilliantly simple idea.
I saw this.
Climb down into a deep,
yuck.
dark
I have
cavern.
seen this. Sorry. No. Viewer beware. You're in for a scare.
Oh, yeah.
Don't look
You're
at the screen right now.
Down into a deep, dark cavern. For mysterious reasons, you're trying to speak to her or whoever she is. I don't know who she is. But all the while, you're being pursued by these enormous predatory centipedes. The centipedes are a nice touch because without them, you find yourself kind of carefully traversing. Early on, they're not there. So that's kind of like serves as the area where you can kind of learn how the mechanics work. Right. Basically, the way it works, you can jump down into these holes, you can throw a hook shot, and that's your primary mode of like locomotion. You throw a hook shot out, you could swing down on this rope and then jump off of it, land on different things. At first, it feels clunky and weird, but then you get used to it and you find yourself diving off of things, hooking onto things, swinging onto things, and all this shit. But the centipedes, what they do is that they apply gentle pressure. They apply a sense of urgency. It drives you forward in a way that can be more risky, but also mechanically rewarding. You start doing all these crazy moves like diving off of things, hooking onto things, because you want to get the fuck away from that thing.
You know what's really funny? You said horror climbing game, and believe it or not, this is not the horror climbing game I thought you were going to talk about.
There's multiples of these now.
There's another one where that just came out where you're climbing like hand over fist, and it's a
that one's a little different. You use the
remember.
left and right mouse buttons to climb, but this is just a rope and you're diving.
That's just so funny.
The simplicity of it lends itself to the horror so well because the atmosphere of this game is immaculate. There's no soundtrack. All you hear is the sounds of the cave, the echoes of everything, the hook shot, and then, of course, the sound of 100 feet coming up behind you.
Nasty.
It's fucking terrifying. I jumped quite a few times in-game and outside of the game. And the best part about this is that it's $3 fucking. It would actually be a crime not to play it. Wow. I'm going to give this one 100 out of 100 centipede legs. It's fantastic. It's fucking genius. Give the devs some fucking money, please. My next thing that I want to share with you. Okay, so a long time ago, you may remember back at the beginning of the podcast, Mac played a little game called Hole Dweller. Yes, the hentai incremental game. That led to me finding one of my favorite new dungeon synth artists, Hole Dweller. About a new cassette. Hole Dweller is actually an amazing dungeon synth artist, but this is not actually what I want to talk about. I got this cassette a little while back. Great album. Flies the Coop is really good. But another album by this same guy. His name is Tim Roland, and he goes by a bunch of different names online, but he goes by a name called Forklift Operator. And this is a Shenmue-inspired dungeon synth album called Warehouse Number 1. I'm actually going to go ahead and link it to you guys in the Discord right now. Go ahead and listen to it. It's fucking cool. It's just this guy fucking around with synthesizers making Shenmue-inspired music, and it's fantastic. So go check it out.
Forklift Operator, of course.
because Galvatron was
I
taken.
get it now. I get it. It took me a second.
Oh, yeah, that's a Shenmue thing.
Yeah. Warehouse Number 1.
Yeah.
Very good and strange.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll take my turn for my what else you got. Been watching the 21st season of Taskmaster. It took me a while to jump in, but it's because it's like 4 episodes deep now. Kumail Nanjiani is the non-British person in it this year. Last year, as I mentioned, it was this guy. I can't remember his fucking name right now, but Kumail Nanjiani's funny. And so far, I have like 3 or 4 episodes in, and I always forget, like, this show's good. I always forget this is like the best sleepy time.
He's hit or miss for me. I like him in some things, and I do not like him in other things.
He's
Wasn't
very
he in
dry.
Fallout? Wasn't he in the newest?
He's been in, he was in the new Fallout, yeah.
Yeah, and he was okay in that, but
He's very good at going, wait, did you just say blah, 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 blah? And then everyone laughs because they pointed out something silly.
you know what I think it is? I think he's one of those guys that when he got really ripped, it's hard to take him serious
He
as an
did get
actor.
shredded.
He is quite, he's jacked. He's quite
You know, it's a fun fact. I had a boss at the pharmacy that I worked at, and
Jason Mantzoukas. That's the guy whose name I couldn't remember.
There
Sorry.
you go. She is first cousins with Kumail Nanjiani, and like I have a mild connection to Kumail Nanjiani.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny to watch him fail. He got super jacked, but he still fails at some of the tasks. So
That's
you feel
fantastic.
good.
I love that. Yeah, I feel good about myself.
More importantly, I wanted to suggest to people this YouTube video that I believe, if Raph has brought this person to the channel before, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't remember him bringing this exact
I don't think I have
YouTuber.
it. I know exactly
Okay.
what you're going to talk about, and I have not. No,
Buck,
yeah, I love
do you
Quinn's
know
Quest.
about Quinn's Quest?
Oh, it doesn't ring a bell. No.
Quinns Quest.
Do you know Shut Up and Sit Down, the YouTube channel? You ever heard of it?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the guy from that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He does tabletop RPG reviews.
Okay.
And he does them with the same level of passion and love that Alton Brown has for Good Eats, or that Bill Nye has for Bill Nye the Science Guy, or for Pee Wee's Playhouse has for any of the shit Pee Wee does. But he reviews tabletop RPGs, and he just came out with an episode 8 days ago for a new tabletop RPG that is in pre-order right now. Like Kickstarter people have theirs, called Stone Top.
Looks really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks so amazing. First of all, his show is awesome. The level of production value that he puts into his show is just like, watch all of these. They are
Now,
all
these are mostly
entertaining.
tabletop RPGs.
That's
not
right. Yeah,
even, like,
TTRPGs.
board-
Like
He comes from, like, a
full-blown
board gaming
ass
world, and now he
role
does-
playing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not board games.
No,
does
not
tabletop
board
RPGs,
games.
yeah.
More like Dungeons and Dragons stand-ins.
Sure.
And I found this video like 3 days ago, and I've spent the past 3 days just watching all of his videos.
Yeah.
But this game, Stone Top, is this. Oh my god, dude! Just watch this video. His endorsement of it is so well written and so ringing that I have never felt more. Not since I was in the 8th grade and there was that Axe body spray commercial where all the girls are coming in from the rain and they're going, it's raining outside. Can I come inside? Have I been so convinced that I need to buy a product? I'm just like, holy shit, dude. This game sounds like it is everything that I want. His elevator pitch for it is Dungeons and Dragons meets Stardew Valley with far less rules about combat.
Fun. I like that.
And it's just like, watch the video. Like I said, I'll put the links. I can't do justice to the way he explains it, but it comes with maps and like a pre-made world. So instead of having to worry about how far and how long it takes and who lives there, it does that for you. So you can instead be like, how do these guys feel about each other? Like, how do these people know each other? Because you're all from the same place is the premise behind the game. Instead of like, I'm from a different place and we all meet at an inn. Instead, it's just like, you're all from the same town. Now go. And it's just like, fuck, smart. But yeah, Quinn's Quest, Stone Top with an exclamation point. It's like $140 to get both the books and all the maps.
That's a big book.
And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna buy it.
Oh, baby, please do, and then run that shit.
All
and
right.
Public access, yeah.
But that is all I have for my What Else You Got, and that's all that we have for this episode. So this is the end, dear listener or viewer. Thank you for getting this far. If you haven't already, try to like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Repost our clips. Write a comment. If you think that I'm crazy
this close to
for
10K,
crying about
guys,
this
let's
video
go.
game today, why don't you tell me why I'm wrong? And don't forget to check out the Super Interview Brothers. All right, that's Buck and I's side quest where we talk to the people that make video games. We talked to the person that made Screaming Savage Blood Death, and they were so cool. They were one of the most interesting people I've ever spoken to as far as like being an artist. Earlier when I said being passionate about something makes you cool, regardless of that, this person is really fucking
They
cool.
were like the people at the high school party in Mixtape where I was like, I'm not cool enough to talk to them.
Right, like, oh, they know every cool horror movie that's ever existed that I've never
I
even
watched
heard
Corpse
of.
Grinders. I watched Corpse Grinders.
So cool, dude. So go, it's on YouTube. You can go to Spotify where I'm posting it as well, but you can go to our link tree and our Patreon, patreon.com/thegtp, where for $5 a month, you get access to those episodes 1 week early. You also get access to our UFO 50 deep dive and the 2-hour-long David Jaffe interview. Don't forget, we have that $1 subscription too if you just feel like giving us $12 a year as a way of saying thank you. I can't do math. We almost have 10,000 subs is what I'm getting at. So thank you so much for all of your support, but there's more you could do. Ask not what you can do for your audience, but what your audience can do for you.
For games.
We want to thank Crunkowitz for the use of our theme song, Clash of the Droids. You can find their music on Apple, Spotify, music.com, music.net, music.pizza, music.org. Anyway, you can find music on the internet. And of course, last but not least, we have to thank RetroGameTreasure.com, bringer of Perfect Dark today, a box copy, a very beautiful box copy of Perfect Dark. RetroGameTreasure.com is a subscription service that helps you grow a retro video game collection. How? This is how. You become a subscriber, you tell Buck what consoles you collect for, and what genres of video games you like to play. It's pretty straightforward. And then what Buck does is he crunches a bunch of numbers based off of what you already have, what you said you liked, and what consoles you said you have, and then he bundles it up and sends it to you at the end of the month. All the games have been resurfaced, refurbished. They're guaranteed to work. So as soon as you get that box, you can pop it open and begin playing those games and reliving your dream of being back in high school before you had to do something else. So start collecting games the easy way today with RetroGameTreasure.com. That is all we have for you, viewer. My name is Max Stein, and I love the Game Treasure Podcast. It's so bad.
It's so bad.